This first story was sent to me by a guy named Harris. He worked as a food delivery driver, mostly during late evenings. He said night deliveries usually paid better, and he liked the quiet roads. One Friday night around 10:30 p.m., he received an order that seemed normal at first. Medium-sized order. Decent tip. The address was on Maple Creek Road, a place he had never delivered to before. When he checked the map, he noticed it was outside the main town area, surrounded by trees and empty land. He almost declined it, but he needed the money. The drive there took about 20 minutes. As he got closer, streetlights became fewer. Houses were spaced far apart. Some didn't even have lights on. Eventually, his GPS told him to turn onto a narrow dirt road. The moment his car turned in, his headlights were the only source of light. Trees leaned over the road, almost forming a tunnel. The sound of gravel under his tires felt too loud in the silence. At the end of the road, there was only one house, a single-story wooden house. No porch light, no visible car, no lights inside. Harris checked the delivery instructions. Leave at door. Do not knock. Do not call. That felt strange. Why order food and then not want any contact at all? Still, he grabbed the bag and walked toward the front door. The air felt colder near the house, not just normal cold, heavy. He placed the food down gently. As he stood up, he heard something, a faint sound from inside, like a chair scraping across the floor. He froze. He waited. Silence. He told himself someone probably just moved furniture. Then his phone buzzed. A message from the customer. Wait. Just that one word. Harris stared at the door. He hadn't marked the order as delivered yet. Another message came. Please bring it inside. Door is unlocked. His stomach dropped. Company rules clearly said never enter a customer's home. He typed back, "Sorry, I can't enter. Food is at the door." 3 dots appeared immediately. Then the reply came. You were told not to knock. Horace felt confused. He hadn't knocked. That's when he heard it. 3 knocks. From inside the door. Slow. Deliberate. Like someone tapping on the other side. His heart started racing. He stepped back slowly. The doorknob began to move. Just slightly. Like someone was gently testing it. Harris didn't wait anymore. He turned and walked fast toward his car. Before he reached it, he heard the front door creak open behind him. He didn't turn around. He got inside his car, locked the doors, and looked up. The house was still completely dark, but the front door was now wide open, and standing in the doorway was a figure. He couldn't see a face, just a tall, dark shape. Not moving, just watching. His phone buzzed again. You forgot something. He looked down at the screen. There was a photo attached. It was a picture of him, standing at the door moments ago, taken from inside the house. Harris drove off immediately. The next morning, curiosity got to him. He searched the address online. The house had been abandoned for nearly 5 years. No owner, no electricity connection. But the creepiest part, there were no records of anyone ordering food from that address before. The second story comes from a delivery driver named Bilal. He worked for a grocery delivery service and mostly did evening shifts. One night, around 8 p.m., he received a large order going to an apartment complex he had delivered to many times before. Nothing unusual. The customer name was Mr. Khan. Bilal picked up the groceries and drove to the address. When he arrived, he noticed something odd. There were police cars outside the building, lights flashing silently, but no crowd. He assumed maybe something small had happened. He parked anyway and carried the groceries inside. The elevator wasn't working, so he took the stairs up to the third floor. As he walked down the hallway toward apartment 3C, he noticed the door was slightly open. He knocked lightly. A man opened the door wider, middle-aged, pale, serious expression. "You're late," the man said calmly. Bilal apologized and handed over the bags. The man grabbed them quickly and shut the door without another word. Strange, but not terrifying. Bilal went back downstairs. As he reached the parking lot, a police officer approached him. "Did you just come from 3C?" the officer asked. Bilal nodded. The officer looked confused. "That's not possible." Bilal felt uneasy. "I just delivered groceries there." The officer shook his head. "Sir, the man who lives in 3C was found dead in his apartment this afternoon." Bilal laughed nervously. "No, I just handed him the bags." The officer's face stayed serious. "We've been here since 6 p.m. No one has gone in or out." Bilal's chest tightened. "That's impossible." He opened the door. The officer asked him to describe the man. Bilal did. The officer slowly pulled out his phone and showed him a photo. It was the same man, same face, same expression, but in the photo, he looked lifeless. Taken earlier that day, Bilal felt dizzy. "No, I spoke to him." The officer immediately called for backup and rushed upstairs with Bilal following behind. When they reached 3C, the door was locked. Police unlocked it and entered. The apartment was dark, cold. The groceries were not inside. In fact, nothing looked disturbed. The body of Mr. Khan was still there, covered. Exactly where they had found him hours ago. Bilal stepped back in fear. "I gave him the bags," he whispered. One officer asked, "Did he say anything unusual?" Bilal thought for a moment. "Yes, one sentence. You're late." That was it. Police checked security cameras from the hallway. The footage showed Bilal standing outside 3C, holding groceries, talking, but the door never opened. He was standing there alone, talking to empty air. And then, the footage showed something else. As Bilal walked away from the doorknob slowly turned by itself, just slightly, before the video cut out. Bilal quit delivery driving 2 weeks later, but sometimes he still thinks about that sentence. You're late. Late for what? That's something he never figured out.